I gotta buy me and the folks some pizza after this.
Welcome to Hot Takes. If you haven't already met me, then my name is Schizo. I know it'll be hell if I use my actual voice, so I'll give you guys a backup that I have.
This should be better now, so let's move on to the few entries I got from you guys. Mason Arms 3656 said boxing is unskilled and not fun to use or fight, also Jawbreaker should be parryable. Well, my first thoughts of this is, no, just no. I will agree that boxing isn't the most skilled spec, but I do find it fun to use and fight as it provides pretty honest neutral. But to add on to this, I think Jawbreaker should stay unblockable, as it would just be a worse stand barrage finisher if you allowed it to be perfect blocked. Besides, it's cancelable, so I think it checks out. Even if I don't agree with your opinion, I respect that you put yourself out there to say what you think needs change. Our next entry is from Nikita, and he said the hand is top 10. So with this entry I'm kind of split on my thoughts, because on one hand I'm fodder at parrying, plus missing erasure pull leaves you wide open to an easy attack. But on the other hand, you can confirm erasure off of barrage or erasure pull, and you can kind of negate some of the punish window on erasure pull if you just use the lingering version of it. My verdict on this is that I can see it being top 10 with the proper patience and good reaction time to punish mistakes. Alvaro Creator said, the old map was better except for Ghiaccio being 10 kilometers away. I don't want to sound like an old head by saying this, but I heavily agree with this hot take. Our current map, while big, is mostly just copy and pasted buildings with some unique locations, while the old map was short and sweet aside from Ghiaccio being hella far away. I remember seeing somewhere in the YBA server that Paragon is revamping the map in a future update, so we won't be in the one we're in forever. My final verdict is that this is a valid take. Infinite Lobotomy said, Beach Boy will stay powerful. I think it heavily depends on if they're going to implement the M1 range nerf I heard Paragon was going to add, since if that does get added then Beach Boy will probably be kinda dead, but if they don't then yes, I think it's already a top 8 stand from my personal experience playing it. Sast said, White Album deserves the nerf. I really don't understand the hate on White Album right now. It lost most of its combo potential after Knuckle era. It also got a huge windup on ice sweeps. I guess Flash Freeze is probably one of the best moves in the entire game, but I think that's the only thing that really needs balancing. D1 said, Shiny is BS. This is very vague, but I'll just take this as you disliking skins being added to the game. I'd have to agree with you on this, since I also dislike them, but mostly because the only way I can get people to go to tournaments are by having a skin as the prize. Otherwise it doesn't really affect the game at all in my opinion, but they should add Roa as RHCPAU skin and a Solan's sword as a skin for Anubis. Simatama said, Paragon did nothing wrong. I mean, recently he's been making a lot of great changes to the game and even adding rehauls that probably would have taken months without him. He hasn't really done anything recently to warrant hate, so the take is valid.
Skibbity Toilet said, boxing has been the best spec since the start of YBA. Now, best spec since the start is a pretty hot take, even for me. There were many times where other specs outdid boxing, such as release Vampirism, release Old Spin, and release Rework Tamon. But boxing ain't got nothing on the unblockable stand crash stun that was luck and pluck. The one thing boxing was the best in though was consistency. I don't think there was a time where boxing was actually unviable, despite many people thinking otherwise, but that's my 2 cents on it. I'd say this is a valid take, but I personally don't agree on it always being the best spec.
Anchor said KC's better than KCR, which is a good take, but as a KC main, I have to disagree. As KC, it's a really good stand, don't get me wrong, but KCR just gaps in everything. As KCR has really good M1s, which KC don't have. It still has pretty much the same moveset, except for Blood Slash and Impale, which Impale is a high risk, high reward move, only if they're low, by the way. And yes, Blood Slash is a low risk, mid reward thingy, but it's a really good move for mix-ups. But why I think KCR is better is because you still have the Epitaph canceling, you still have the good moveset, in addition of having really good M1s, and you still have Scythe, which is a mid risk and really high reward if it hits. And you still have Reality Marble, which is a no risk, like mid reward. So you still have so much really free damage while the stand being really good. And that's why I think KCR is better than KC.
Ikizanziiba said, "This game sucks." I can see where a lot of people come from when they say this, but we'll put a bookmark for this and wait for the CDR update to respond to this, as I think this is where I'll be able to address the state of YBA. So now that we're done with the main part of the video, I wanted to give an important channel announcement. As you may have heard already, Messiah is fully retiring her character here, but will keep her legacy alive with the GOAT avatar she made. But that raises the question, what's next for the channel? Well, we're not going anywhere, but we will most likely change the channel name, but also introduce more unique videos aside from your normal feed of BnB Combos. You can expect combat breakdown, FG splaining, the dojo, stand spotlight, YBA game sense tests, and an experimental video series coming someday named YBA On Demand. Before I end this video, I'd also like to shout out my beloved channel member, as he's been supporting me for a while. I appreciate that you've been here for this long, it really means a lot to me, so thank you, and I really hope I get more channel members as time goes on. But for now, this is the Messiah team signing off.